Hello, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly reading for the sign of Gemini. I just wanted to highlight before I start my beautiful new bracelet from one of my subscribers who is a handcrafter, a jewelry maker. It is gorgeous. Copper wire with amethyst crystal in the center. I can tell you this, I come from a family of handcrafters also, and this is really beautifully done. It's very nicely finished, very smooth, very well done, and I love it. So if you enjoy this kind of jewelry, go ahead and into my description, and you'll find a link to her Etsy store. Her name is My Frequency New York City, or at least that is the name of her Etsy store. She's also on IG, I believe, on Instagram. But in any case, this is, what I love to do as well on my channel is highlight any artists who want to show off their beautiful work. And as long as it is something that, that I like and that's in tune with my readings or my content, then I'm more than happy to show that. Okay, guys? All right, so let's get right into Gemini. We're going to pull out your 3 romance angel messages. And then, as usual, we will get right into your animal spirits and then your 3 forecasts for the week. All right, my air sign. Let's get right into it. I'm going to be starting also, I'm going to try to start for March, probably, we'll see, a weekly separation challenge video for those of us who are in separation or in challenge with regard to a soul connection with someone. And I'll let you know about that on the community page. All right, straight out, we have give your relationship a chance, Gemini. We have codependency. And we have for you forgiving and learning. So, all right. So let's go ahead and pull out your animal spirits. We're going to know a little bit more once we do that. Now, animal spirits, what animal spirit is walking with you this week? Of course, this is from March 1st to the 7th, if I didn't already say so. And let's get right into pulling out the spirits for your week, right? Now, these animal spirits may or may not resonate with you. That's fine. Sometimes they can be descriptive of people we may be dealing with. They can represent energies we might be dealing with or the energies that are becoming available to us personally. So let's just see for you, Gemini, what animal spirits are walking with you, swimming with you, flying with you this week. All right, guys. Straight out, we have the bear. Beautiful. Earth energy, talking about awakening from a spiritual slumber in a lot of ways. We have the lamb. Wow. This is an omen of new life coming into your life, perhaps a child or project. And then we have the nightingale, right? Air energy. All right, let's get right into them before we pull out your spreads for the week. The bear is associated with awakening from a spiritual slumber. The bear is an earth animal spirit, of course, but this is interesting. So here we talk about awakening from a spiritual slumber in a sense that just like bears hibernate, right? They come out of hibernation. Because it is an earthy creature, what you're really awakening to here with the spirit of the bear is the connection between earth and spirit, right? So we're seeing the spirit, right? The energy of the spirit in the material world, in the things around us, and the activities around us, right? We begin to see the connection, and this is what we talk about awakening from a spiritual slumber. Understanding that all things are imbued with spirit in some way, and so now that you are beginning to see this connection, it's almost as if there's a whole world opening up. Now, you could be resonating with this Gemini, or you could be dealing with someone who this week who is resonating with this energy. In the beginning, it can feel quite awkward. They talk about, the bear really sort of stumbling in its first steps. And this could just be you kind of like just getting used to maybe spiritual side of life or an esoteric side of life. You may just be getting into mysticism, or you may just be getting into, something as simple as yoga or meditation for the first time. And so it may feel at first like you're a fish out of water, or like, you're just out of your element. But that is just because it is a new sort of area of your life that is beginning to awaken and burgeon. And so you will find your feet just like the bear does. Now, the lamb is also earth energy, and the lamb is beautiful, beautiful animal spirit, really to symbolize the beginning of new life, right? Generally, the lamb is the animal spirit for the baby or the infant, the child coming into your life. This could be a newborn. It can also be an adopted child, or you could be a fostering children. This could also be a new creative idea that has just begun or sprouted, right? The seeds of new creative ideas that have sort of sprung up. And so here we're talking about just being very gentle, very protective, the nurturing that is required for the lamb, that is required for anything new that is sort of being born into your life. And so anything out of creativity. Of course, children are the ultimate example of creative potential and expression when we make children, right? But this can also be a new project. This can also be a new endeavor. It's interesting for the lamb and the bear to be in the same reading, because this could very well be a new sort of creative project that is along the lines of a new sort of spiritual outlet for you, right? So anyway, these two sort of can work together. You may be recognizing that in your own life now. So we have the nightingale is the air element, and the nightingale is, of course, associated with this beautiful, beautiful singing voice. The nightingale itself as a bird on the outside is rather unremarkable. These birds are just small, brown-plumed birds. They really don't look any different than any other little bird, perhaps a sparrow or something like that. But it's when they open up their beaks or mouths, rather, right, that the beauty is really sort of heard and realized. The nightingale is the animal spirit for the singer, of course, but also for anyone who has something important to convey via communication, and something, something they have something they want to express, right? But it's also, whatever they're expressing is something that's going to make you feel something. So there's a real sort of emotional connection here. Very, very sensitive. And of course, when the spirit of the nightingale comes into your life, it makes you feel, Gemini, like you really want to communicate, like you really have something important to say, or something important that you want to share with the world around you, even if it's just in your social group, or, you may even be a motivational speaker, something like that. But in any case, you're beginning to feel a desire to express important ideas and in feelings, right? All right, Gemini, let's go ahead and pull out your 3 forecasts for the week. These forecasts are intended to be separate experiences for separate Geminis. So rather than just doing one general forecast for the week, I pull out 3 because, of course, there are different Geminis with different experiences. You may resonate with a little bit of each, or just one, whatever the case may be. If it doesn't apply, though, just let it go. Right? Many times, if the reading just doesn't make sense to you, or if it just doesn't apply to your situation, then that reading just simply is not for you, right? All right, guys. So let's go ahead and do this. Straight out, we have 5 of Pentacles, the Fool, and the 10 of Pentacles. Wow. Interesting. Very, very nice, though. 5 of Pentacles indicates a power struggle where we have generally gone through some kind of split or divide, either with a group or an individual. This can involve a love connection, or it can involve something at work. Anything, really, where you have been working together, you have been together with someone, but the power dynamic or the power struggle between the two of you has resulted in a falling out. However, the most important aspect of this card is that you are the one who comes out of this really facing a financial struggle, or paying a financial price as a result of the split. This can be, if we're talking about a love connection, this could be breaking up and moving out and now having to pay more rent. This could be a divorce or a separation, and now your financial stability is somewhat up in the air. You may have to even rebuild yourself or rebuild your financial stability or base. In any case, though, Five of Pentacles, please don't be disheartened, because oftentimes Five of Pentacles comes into a situation where the power dynamic was always going to fall apart. Or rather, if it didn't fall apart, remaining in that particular scenario, dynamic, or environment, you were not going to grow. You were not going to progress, right? And so sometimes this is very much a feeling of taking a step back or 2 steps back, only so that you can rebuild and ultimately have 5, 10, 15 steps forward. So you're dealing with this week. Coming into the week, though, you're met with the Fool, and I believe that you are going to be coming up against suddenly a new opportunity, a whole new road for you. And it's really interesting because this new road is going to be in the area of finances, business, material gain, financial stability. But of course, it is an opportunity or a road that would never have opened up to you had this situation never occurred. And you round your week off with a 10 of Pentacles. Now, I do believe that this particular spread is also symbolizing a longer term outlook. But I can tell you that by the end of the week, you can see that this new opportunity has the potential, all the potential in the world, really, to lead you to a very, very nice place financially and materially, right? So 10 of Pentacles generally indicates financial stability that can support a family, that can support children, that can support, your progeny moving forward. This is the kind of wealth we talk about, and financial stability we talk about lasting. This is a leveling up where, once you reach a certain level here, it's like you're never gonna have to really completely fall down to the ground and rebuild. You've leveled up, right? You're only ever going to take so many steps backward. Very, very nice indeed. Keep your eyes open, right? Keep your eyes open this week, Gemini. For those of you who may be resonating with this, I'm going to say this could also be a financial area or a career or business move that does have some connection to the spirit, right? To spiritual side of things. You may be doing business in an area that is a humanitarian area, or you may be getting into opening something like a crystal shop or what have you, or a yoga studio. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, it's a business. Yes, it's something that's going to make you very happy. It's something that's really going to level you up, but it's also something that's not going to be completely devoid of a purpose, right? A principle or a spiritual sort of center, right? Very nice. 6 of Swords, Sun, and the King of Cups fell out right behind it. All right, guys. 6 of Swords definitely talks about a desire of moving away from strife and arguing, bickering, being at odds with someone, not really just not being the same mentality, right? Having a completely different mentality. Of course, the 5 of Swords, we know about that card being that energy. And so the 6 of Swords is a desire to move away. Once you have stopped engaging with people who really are not at your level, or you certainly don't want to fall down to their level, you then make the next step or the next decision generally to completely move away from that. And 6 of Swords is a desire oftentimes we have for moving towards people of like mind, right? Like-minded people with the same mentality as yours, right? Now, it can be that with the spirit of the bear coming in, this new awakening or this new spiritual awakening, it can be that for some of you Geminis that you are gravitating towards communities or social groups that are in line with that spiritual awakening, right? You may be traveling, you may be moving, you may be going to retreats, right? Spiritual retreats or what have you, or healing retreats, whatever the case may be. And it doesn't necessarily have to be connected to the spirit of the bear, but in any case, the 6 of Swords is a desire to move closer towards harmony, right? Now you come into this week and you're met with the sun, and the sun comes out for you and really brings clarity and growth and understanding. This is another really beautiful reading for you, Gemini, because you round off the week with the King of Cups. There's a person in your life coming into your life who wants to make a commitment to you, a strong commitment to you. They're sort of hunting you in a way. The King of Cups is certainly the hunter. And I think that by coming into this week and meeting this sun energy, which is really, oftentimes the sun, of course, brings clarity, of course, brings growth. But also what happens oftentimes with the sun is that the spotlight is on you. Right? When sun comes into our lives, the sun energy comes into our lives, it can seem as though like it's really all about you. You tend to be at the center of attention. You tend to be highlighted. And the sun is just really shining its warmth and its brilliance on you. It just could be that, people are beginning to notice you for your work or notice you for just your attitude, just the energy that you bring. It just seems to be that you are radiating, and oftentimes that can bring a lot of attention. The Sun card is also a card that is associated with fame when we're talking about industry or career. But in this case, I think that what has happened is that it's you have caught somebody's eye. And by the end of the week, this person, the King of Cups, is dead set on you, Gemini. You're going to be knowing it because I think they're going to be coming right into you and letting you know, right? They're going to come right in and be like, okay, well, I see you and I want to get to know you. And then the King of Cups is very different than the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups, of course, is not so committed. He's very romantic and can sweep you off your feet, but he's not all that committed, whereas the King of Cups is absolutely committed. He's the one who wants to marry you. He's the one who wants to make a strong commitment. He can also be the domineering one in the relationship, so oftentimes he is the alpha in the relationship. But then again, it's up to you if of course, it's down to you if you enjoy that, if you like that, if he or she, and by the way, it doesn't have to be a man, it can be a woman. Whoever this King of Cups is, of course, it's going to be down to you if you resonate with them, if you're compatible with them. And I'm not saying that they're domineering in the sense that they're over-domineering, but they are generally King of Cups is an alpha character in a relationship. And so in this way, like I said, they're the hunter. They're definitely not going to beat around the bush and be coy or anything like that. They're going to come right out and say, hey, I want to get to know you. Last one, Seven of Swords, Three of Pentacles, and a Six of Cups. Wow, very interesting. Seven of Swords is the card for futility. It is also the card for treachery, but here you are resonating with the Seven of Swords, and oftentimes when we resonate with the Seven of Swords, it is the feeling of futility that we have coming into our lives. It could be that you're coming into this week, Gemini, and perhaps up until now it's been feeling like nothing has really been working out for you very well. There is a Mercury retrograde, as I understand it, going on. It could just be feeling like in general, you're just beating your head up against the wall. You're just not able to sort of get where you want to get, right? Despite all your intentions, despite everything that you're trying to do. Now, sometimes the Seven of Swords is futility because we cut corners, right? We cut corners. We think we're making an effort, but, the effort we're making is really not that committed. Just take care. Sometimes this can also be a feeling of futility because somebody else is working behind the scenes against us. Because Seven of Swords is also the card for treachery, right? So a lot of times when we're feeling very futile, when we're feeling like nothing is working, none of the moves we're making are working, none of the decisions we're making seem to pan out, a lot of times it can be that there are other energies and generally people close to you who may be sort of sabotaging you in some kind of way. But in any case, you're coming into this week with this kind of, feeling, right? Of like, man, what can I get going? And it's interesting because this week, everything changes. The Three of Pentacles is all about progress and work. And progress and work because you are really sort of doing the right things, right? So rather than trying to make these big, huge steps, right, which sometimes don't really work out, it's like you're taking care of the little steps. So you're making the little steps, the little progress steps towards something. You're whittling away at something. People are slowly beginning to notice your work, you know, beginning to want to work with you. You may be getting more work at work, like if you're at a corporation, or you may be in a business, and so you're getting more work through customers, or you may be talking to more people, right? More people are just getting to know you in this area of your life, and things are increasing. By the end of the week, you round off with a 6 of Cups. And this too is also a beautiful sort of feeling. It can be a feeling of giving your relationship a chance. Maybe the 7 of Swords was in the area of a relationship. It could be that that relationship was maybe not going so well because of work issues, but because this week work is starting to pick up and sort of gather some speed, the ball is starting to roll again for you. It's like your relationship that you have with someone, this is a soulmate connection generally, or it can be friendship or romantic, but it is a strong connection with someone that you feel very, very close to, that you have a pleasant relationship with. Well, it comes right back again, Gemini, all right? It comes right out. Whether it was on the skids or not, by the end of this week, you have a beautiful connection here with someone. And I do think the reason why it's coming out this way is because perhaps some of these issues that you were dealing with, that you first came into the week with, have somehow been sort of waylaid or taken care of, because now you are beginning to progress at work, and you're probably generally feeling better. Your mood is probably better. Energies are all around you are better. And so, of course, it is having a knock-on effect on your relationship. All right, Gemini, this is your reading, March 1st to the 7th. I do hope you resonated with it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share the video on your social media. All of that really helps me to grow my channel. But for right now, guys, don't forget, check out My Frequency New York on Etsy or IG. Beautiful handcrafted crystal jewelry. But for right now, have a wonderful week, guys, and I'll see you next week for your weekly outlook. Bye-bye now.